Today we are starting with a new topic, that is linear inequations or inequalities. In that, first the definition of linear inequation we should understand, and then we will be going to solve these inequations. Write down first definition: a statement involving variables and the sign of inequation or sign of inequality is called an inequation or inequality. Is called inequation or inequality. What are the inequation signs here? Inequality signs: less than, it's greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. So these signs, if involved in certain statements, we will call those statements as linear inequalities or linear inequation. For example, if I say 2x plus 3 comes greater than 0, or it is 5x plus 4 plus greater than or equal to 0, or I should say x square plus 2x plus 1 coming less than or equal to 0. So these all are called as inequations. Linear inequation, why it is, which is linear and which is not linear, that we'll discuss first. First, these are the inequations. So inequations are simply what you should say, these are the statements involving these inequalities. So statement involving these inequalities are called as inequation. So this is inequation, this is inequation, this is inequation. Here in this inequation, we have one variable, we have one variable here, we have one variable here. So these are called inequation with one variable. And in this case, the x power is 1, here also x power 1, so we will call them as linear inequations. And what this will be called as quadratic inequation. So this is quadratic inequality, this will be linear inequality, this will be linear inequality. So linear, this will be quadratic. That you should keep in mind. So this way you will be having inequations. Now, one more thing, if the equation come like this, 5x plus 4y greater than or equal to 4, then this will be called linear inequation because the power is 1. But how many variables are involved? 2. So I call this as a linear inequation with 2 variables. This was linear inequation, this is linear inequation, but they are with variable 1. This is quadratic inequation with one variable. This will be called as linear but with 2 variables. So that way you should keep in mind. Now coming on certain rules which we should follow to solve these inequations. So now we are coming on solution of inequations. Now one thing you should keep in mind, whenever you are calculating the solution of these inequations, they will not be 1 or 2 solutions, they will be infinite many solutions. That means this time the answers which you are going to have will be in interval form. Till now we were having the answer, if it is a linear equation, we used to have one solution. If it is quadratic, we have 2 solutions. If it is cubic equation, we have 3 solutions. But when they are inequations, we will say not a single solution, there will be a group, or we will say there will be an interval which will be giving solution this time. Now, how we are going to solve these inequations, or how to get these answers? I told you that the answers will be coming in intervals, sub-intervals that we should understand. Then first, there must be some rule we should follow, and by that we are going to solve it, because till now we have not done any rules for inequations. Now we are taking certain rules. So write down first rule what we should follow. Same number, first rule write down, same number may be added, bracket, or subtracted, both sides of inequations, both sides of inequations, without changing the sign of inequality. Without changing the sign of inequality. That means, if any inequation is given, simple example I am taking, we know that 5 is greater than 3. I know it. If you add same number on both sides, what this will come? For example, if I'll add 3 on both sides, is this sign going to change? No, because if it is greater, it will become more greater. Now it will be 8 and this will be 6. Still this will remain greater. Or if I subtract now, then also is there any change? Just check. This is coming 2 and this is 0. So 2 is coming greater than 0. Again we will say yes, it is going to hold. So we will say if you add some constant number on both the sides, or if you subtract both the number on both the sides, there will be no change in the sign of inequation. So you can add some constant number on both sides, or you can subtract number on both the sides. That is your choice, you should understand. And that is not going to change your inequation. Second rule. Both sides of an inequation, for example, again I am going on the same result, 5 and 3 greater. And if I say in this case, both sides of an equation can be multiplied or divided, can be multiplied or divided by...
Can you please repeat the second rule?
Yes. Both sides of an equation, both sides of an equation can be multiplied or divided by the same positive number without changing the sign of an equation. Without changing the sign of an equation. However, the sign of an equation is reversed when both sides of an equation are multiplied.
So can you repeat after however?
Yes. Without changing the sign of inequality or inequation. However, the sign of inequation is reversed when both sides of inequation are multiplied or divided, by a negative number. By a negative number means, in multiplication, if you multiply a positive number both sides, for example, I'll multiply 2 on both sides, then automatically this is 10, this will be what? 6. Still the equation hold. Another positive number, let it be half I am taking. 5 by 2 again coming greater than 3 by 2. Yes, it will hold. But when you multiply a negative number on both sides, for example, I'll multiply -1 on both sides, then it will be -5 here, this will be -3 here. Now which will become bigger? -3 will become bigger. So this sign get reversed. So if a negative number is multiplied, then the sign get reversed. For example, -2 if I multiply, then this is -2 and this will be -6. Which is bigger now? -6. So we will say whenever negative numbers multiplied on both the sides, we will find that the inequation get reversed. If it is positive number multiplied, it will remain the same. Clear? Now rule 3. Any term of inequation may be taken to other side with its sign changed without affecting the sign of inequation. Without affecting the sign of inequation. Means if I take this 5, plus 5 is here, if I take 5 this side, then I'll write 2x. This sign is not going to change and it is coming greater than -5. Okay, if you take this term this side, we will say it will become plus. So you can shift the values from left to side, left to right, right to left, but there is change in the sign that you should do. But that is not going to change your inequation. Inequation remains the same. So this way you should remember.
Sir, it works like the equal to sign only.
Yes, it works just like equal sign. Just like in the equation we have done, same thing we are doing here. One more thing now noted here, cross multiplication should not be done in the inequation. This is not a rule, but for our precautional purpose, we are not going to multiply or just taking the cross multiplication. Why I'll not take that, I'll tell you later. But one thing I told you here, that please don't do the cross multiplication in inequation, because sometime you will not be knowing you are doing the things wrong. Where it will be, I'll tell you later. But first thing, this is the fourth thing you should write yourself, that we are not going to multiply, cross multiply the inequations. क्यों नहीं multiply करेंगे वो बाद में बात करेंगे. Now I am coming on questions first. And in these questions, few questions will come where cross multiplication will be creating problem for us, or we are doing it wrong. So that's why I'm avoiding that cross multiplication. Only these 3 rules we will use and we will try to solve our equations. First question right now, please. 3x minus 6 coming less than 0. My question is, you should solve it. 3x minus 6 coming less than 0. My question is, you solve this case.
So x belongs to minus infinity to 2, open interval.
Yes. First we will write 3x minus 6. I'll take this side, so it will be less than 6. Divided by 3 on both sides, there is no problem. Because I want this to be taken as x, so 3 divide. I told you positive number, if you divide on both the sides, there will be no change coming. So this 3 get cancelled out. This come out to be 2. So I got it, x is less than 2. If x is less than 2, I'll go on number line now. This is here 2. What it says, x is less than 2 means here 2 से काम चलना है. X is less than 2. So what my answer should be in this case? X belongs to. It will start from minus infinity and it will go to 2. And 2 should be also in open interval. So result come out to be x belongs to minus infinity to 2. 2 will not be included, so I have taken the circle here, open circle, and here it is minus infinity. No, if you will take the capital bracket, will show that you include 2. If you are taking open interval, that means these boundaries are not included. Other number, real number are included. So close interval, open interval, this you have done in set theory already. So you should remember it. Next question, please. Solve. Minus 3x plus 12 is less than 0. This is the question we have. Minus 3x plus 12 coming less than 0.
Sir, infinity to 4. 4 to infinity.
Yes, sir. First time minus 12 we will take this side, so minus 3x comes less than minus 12, right or no? Then we will be dividing it by minus 3 both sides. When you divide it minus 3 on both sides, the equation get reverse. यहाँ आपने क्या कहा, minus 3 से आपने divide किया, यहाँ भी आप minus 3 से divide कर रहे हैं. So I told you any negative number if you divide or multiply, the equation get reverse. Here. Okay or no? Then what it will come? X is coming greater than 4. That means it will be going 4 to infinity. 4 is again not included, it will go to infinity. So what my answer should be, x belongs to 4 to infinity, neither 4 included nor infinity included. Next question please. 7x plus 9 is greater than 30. 7x plus 9 is coming greater than 30. We should solve it.
Sir, x belongs to 3 to infinity open interval.
Okay. We should write this as 7x greater than 30 minus 9 first. Then I will write 7x is greater than 21. And now if I divide 7, that is a positive number, so no problem, 7 can be divided, so x is greater than 3. And if it is coming greater than 3 means 3 to infinity, 3 is not included, going till infinity. So x belongs to, it will be 3 to infinity.